and not hysteria, because I still go back to the robots eating the babies, because that's all I listen to every day. It's just ludicrous. And I don't think robots are actually going to.
I'm sorry, I got to hear that commentary. Who's saying the robot's going to eat the babies? I'll say the robots go take the babies' jobs. Okay, sure, but eat the babies is hilarious.
Do as much as people think or look the way they think. They're not going to be humanoid walking around.
And yo, shout out to my man Monty, here to break down the whole AI infrastructure. Well, I would say crisis, but I think he sees it a little different. All right, what's going
I
on?
mean, if it's not handled appropriately, it will be a crisis. I
Oh,
love Kevin O'Leary, and I don't agree with him on the, oh, it's never going to be a problem because I'm building it out in the middle of nowhere, right?
yeah.
Because eventually we're going to expand. We're going to want houses out there, just like they did in California with the gold rush. There's going to be people that have to go there and live there. So
Yeah. For 9
the
years or so while they're doing construction and all that.
exactly, yeah, like you bring people to the middle of nowhere, suddenly a city pops up in the middle of nowhere, and now there's people that, you know, they're not going to want the data center in their backyard, even though it was there before they were there. But the way that it's going to be solved is, and this is going to go to the whole, we need jobs for it, we're going to need support and all that fun stuff. You just put it in space.
Okay.
It's always sunny in space. Always sunny in space.
Hmm.
Right? So there's your power solved.
Okay.
You need a low Earth orbit satellite lasts for about 5 years, and then it has to come back to Earth, or it doesn't come back to Earth. It just burns up in the atmosphere. Right?
Yeah.
So you have about a 5-year life clock on that data center. It's a little tiny one instead of a big giant fucking monstrosity, right? So what
Yeah.
does that tell you? It's a consumable product, right? Which means it needs to be rebuilt and sent back up into space. So
Yeah, okay, and that can be done by human hands.
it has to be done by human
Yeah,
hands.
continuous work. Okay, so I see where you're getting with that one. If we like I said, we do have to make it more efficient. Like this whole data center
Yeah.
stuff is starting to become outdated. And if we can make it more efficient, I know it's may hurt Kevin O'Leary's feelings, but you might have to like do something a little different. You might have put all your eggs in one basket into an already dying technology, because that's a problem with AI. It's advancing things so fast that we already need to advance our energy infrastructure to keep up with it.
Which, I mean, is a good thing. We need to
Yeah.
advance our energy infrastructure. Why do we
Yeah.
need to advance our energy infrastructure? Well, because we have a rise in electric vehicles. And what did everybody warn us about, and continue to warn us about our grid? It's vulnerable to attack. It's vulnerable to a solar flare. It's
And
vulnerable to a million different things that can put us back in the 1800s.
yeah, it's like the
And
Carnegie scale. Like, the more energy we consume, or the more energy we're able to produce, the more advanced we are as a society. So,
yes, the Kardashev scale. It's a very good thing that you brought that up, because we're not even Kardashev 0.75 yet, or zero point 0.8, and we need to be Kardashev 1 for AI to make sense. And Kardashev 1 is a huge leap from where we're at right now. I think it's harnessing all of the energy that reaches your planet. I mean, the only way energy reaches the planet is by the sun. It's the only way. It's the biggest fusion reactor in the galaxy, right there, sitting in the middle of our solar system. And
well, we already got a couple disagreements here, because we got Chad saying that there can't be in space due to latency, and we got my man Jermel
bullshit,
saying, all right, he's calling bullshit
bullshit.
on that one.
I build the satellites, guy. Bullshit.
All right, well, it's SpaceX that got the technology. We have the technology, Chad. Apparently, we have the
Everybody
technology.
has the technology. Everybody. You know how we do
All
it?
right.
Lasers. Fucking lasers. They move at the speed of light. The latency is only 8 milliseconds.
Oh, and yeah, and having data centers in space wouldn't that be vulnerable to solar flares?
Not if they're 5-year consumable products.
Okay,
Like
you said,
it
let
goes
them
around.
burn up.
So technically, low Earth satellites are technically always just falling back to Earth. That's technically what's happening, right? And we adjust the trajectory and give it a little bit more time and burn it up, and we use our reaction wheels and our gimbals and fucking uh, our magnetic rods and our thrusters and even the solar panel wings themselves to fly it so that it doesn't. And that's how you get about 5 years out of it. And then, it's even less if it's defective. Like, it'll go back down to Earth, and like the data is transmitted. Like, I don't know if you saw.
Come to the agreement here that like we do need to change a course in a way when it comes to these data centers, pretty
Yes,
much.
and we need it. You don't want it on Earth. That is the dumbest thing. I mean, it's not dumb. You have to get to the point where you can get it in space, and like eventually the goal is to um put internet interplanetary. So with lasers, you just beam a light of information from one satellite to another. That's how Starlink works right now. So you can't tell me that there's a latency issue. Go, my Starlink latency is like 13 milliseconds from gateway to gateway. So this is not an issue that's unsolvable. It's an issue that's going to be hard. It's an issue that's going to take, people figuring things out, engineering coming
Yeah.
together and figuring things out. It is not impossible.
Of
And
course not. Now, I agree with you on that. I think that we just need to put our heads to that instead of letting these guys, because I think these guys are all in on the data centers. They're pushing
they
so
are,
much money into it that
because
they're not even thinking about another option.
it's a cash cow. They're all in on it because it's a cash cow. It's like a gold rush, and you have essentially, I like Kevin O'Leary. Like, I'm not trying to rip on Kevin O'Leary, but he's trying to cash in on a cash cow.
Yeah.
That's what's
I mean,
happening.
and
And
honestly,
that's going to be the issue with AI. That's going to be the issue with AI taking jobs and all this fun shit. Like, even to create a process, right? Like, we're going from version 2 Starlink to version 3, and there's a million and one different problems that need to be solved. And like, that takes humans solving those problems, trial and error.
no, that's true. But like I said, it does, and this is where everybody's getting, caught up on AI, because it does seem like, well, the cart has been put before the horse when it comes to, the people being the horse and AI being the cart.
I
Like we
mean,
literally,
so
yeah.
I will tell people now, do not go and make a job, or do not go and do a job or train yourself for a job that anybody can do. That's
Mm, okay.
don't be the best, be the only.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we get that. But the problem is like, all right, but what's a good example of, well, I guess most hands-on for now. Hands-on, anything that requires hands right now would probably be your best
Something
bet.
something that is dirty, treacherous, or boring.
Yeah,
Dirty, dangerous, or boring. Don't
that's your best
go
bet.
for those jobs. An electrician, you're probably safe for a while.
Yeah,
Until
until
until we can
Elon
get
come
a
out with the drones.
like, it's very, you want to be different. You want to have out of the box thinking abilities when it comes to this, because what is going to happen is the jobs of, manual labor, those will be the first to go. And I don't mean manual labor like, oh man, I got to do all these hard things to get this one thing done. No, like, ditch digging gave
Material
way to
handling and all
excavator.
that. Yeah,
Yes,
material handling and all that good stuff. I get what you're saying.
all that stuff is going to be,
Ugh.
and as it should be. That is where 90% of our workplace injuries come from, which cost the taxpayers millions and billions of dollars a year in workers' comp claims, and cost the economy a whole shit ton in lost wages. Like, like, everybody's
Yeah, but
complaining.
I think the wages actually kind of, I'm pretty sure it produces more wages than wages lost. I think that's the problem here, because then what are these guys going to do
No, no, no.
if they're not
So
even skilled enough to do anything else?
So if you want to produce jobs just for the sake of producing jobs, when we go bury when we go dig out a skyscraper's basement, we should use spoons instead of shovels.
No, I get what you're saying there. I trust me, I get that joke. But the thing is though, is that well, let's be real. The shovel's not gonna get mad or the spoons ain't gonna get mad because you're using shovels. The people will get mad because you're using AI automation here.
So AI is nothing more than a force multiplier at this stage. In 10 to 15 years, after we've figured out what path we're on, then you might have a conversation for in another 10 to 15 years what our lives are going to
Monty,
look
no,
like.
we want it's supposed to be a force multiplier, but right now it is replacing these people. Like
It's
everybody,
replacing
okay,
it's yes, and let that serve as an example. You know who it's replacing? Coders.
HR guys,
HR
property
guys, useless
management.
people.
Like, bro, what? Bro, they're the ones who built
HR,
this.
bro.
Okay,
When's the last time
okay.
HR has ever
HR,
solved a
I'll
problem
give
for
you
you?
that one. Okay, HR, okay. But the coders, okay, property management, not so much. But the coders.
The coders are still using AI to code.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. They're getting replaced by the AI because the AI can code themselves. They taught the AI to code, and now the AI
Mhm.
can code 20 times better than them, and now they're out of a job.
But there still has to be someone that gives them the prompt. AI can't just go and create its own prompt. It can't
Yeah,
go and envision
but
things.
Monty, it's already been done. They already did it. They've already gotten us to train the AI. It's over.
No,
Like
no, no, no,
they
no. They've gotten us to train the AI to respond to queries.
no, the AI writes its own code, bro. We know this now.
No,
That's
AI can write. No, 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 no. It writing its own code is one thing, but when you like, so if you have a big nebulous that does nothing but suck things up, that's not contributing anything. You need to get value out of the AI, so you need the AI to make code things that you want. So AI is like the eraser. Just because the eraser gets bigger doesn't mean anything good has happened unless you
yeah, no, but
use
no,
the
that's the
eraser for
thing though.
something.
It's like I ask a coder to all right, make me a chess game. Bro might take like I don't know, maybe a day to a day or two. AI is probably gonna do that within 30 minutes or less.
Right. So
That
that is the efficiency. That is the most force multiplier.
yeah,
The
but that's
coder has
why
to.
but that's what's going to cause problems because you're right. You cannot compete with AI, but AI is going to be taking those jobs that from coders and even the jobs that we think that we see as useless. Be real with you, people are making a living off these jobs, and AI replacing them doesn't really help them. It just helps
I
the
mean
business at that point.
that the business being helps everybody. That's
Not if people can't afford those business services because their job got taken with
if
AI.
they if people can't afford the business services, the business is doing something wrong, and the business will go out of business.
I mean, if nobody
Like
ain't got a
in
job,
every market, there has to be a buyer and a seller, right? For a buyer and a seller to come together is what a market is. So if you have a bunch of sellers and no buyers, what's going to happen?
I mean, no, we get it. No, I get that. But the problem is, that's what I'm saying. AI might take all the buyers away. Then what? And I don't think guys like Kevin O'Leary is really thinking that far ahead. On
No, like that's the thing, Set. Like I promise you, they're looking for customers for their product. They need customers. They need you and me to buy their shit. In order for this whole cycle to keep going, if
yeah,
you
but
take
me and
the
you can't buy their crap if they're just gonna replace us with AI and we're out of the job.
and if we can't buy their crap, they will make sure that we can buy their crap. That like
Yeah.
when you get to that scale of business, it's not about, oh, I have this doodad for sale. I don't care what the price is. I'm going to sell it for this because that's what it costs. No, they will take losses in the interim so that people can afford it. Like you have to have people in the workforce
Yeah, but
in
then
order
that's
for
when you
people to
start.
use that money that they got in the workforce to buy things.
I mean, here's the thing though. If like I said, if AI is kicking people out the workforce and we have more people out of the workforce than in it, then we need to find a way to supplicate that if that's the case. Because then, like I said, these businesses are going to have no demand to sell their products.
When it gets to that point set, that is when socialism starts taking hold. And
Yeah,
I don't mean socialism run by the government. I don't mean social like it is. Oh, you know what? Well, your internet, it's free now. We don't we have the AI infrastructure to give you free internet. 99% of the internet is in space. All right, everybody just gets free internet. So there's 80 to $100 off your monthly expenses. And also while we're at it, you know what? Everybody gets a free phone bill. There's another $200 taken off of the top. Oh yeah, that house that you wanted that you couldn't afford. Okay, yeah, we have a robot that can build it for, maybe $60,000. Like that is what it looks like. It doesn't look like everything is just free. It is things are getting cheaper. As things get cheaper to make, everybody can afford them. Like TVs, for example.
Yeah, but
We
hold on now. Like I said, it's that main equation of while AI is doing all this producing and we're not, then what are we doing even to earn an income? Like, where's
I
the
mean,
income at?
everybody we are way more adaptable than AI is. Like if you lose your job tomorrow, you're not completely fucking helpless and useless.
Yeah, true.
You can go get a different job.
That's true.
You
You're right. But that's the thing though with AI. What do you mean? Like, bro, AI now does my job all the way through. Now there's nowhere I can go where AI isn't doing that job. Like
if that is the
that's the
point,
reality that a
if
lot of people are
nobody
looking.
if it, I mean that's people that is people dooming. That is what that is. If people are looking at this future and they're more concerned about themselves than the affordability for everybody, then that is a boomer mentality. Oh, it's gonna take my job. We've been warned about shit taking people's jobs for 100 years. Every time something, hell, you remember the tall tale of Paul, or not Paul Bunyan? Yeah, Paul Bunyan and the fucking robot axe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna take Paul Bunyan's job, and he's gonna work his ass off, and like that has been the worry for hundreds of years. As soon as a force multiplier comes onto the stage, and everybody freaks the fuck out, and somehow everybody still survives.
Mm, all right. But all right, Monty. Well, I gotta go ahead
Love
and
you,
get
bro.
back into it, bro. Hey man, love you, dog. That was a great 15-minute segment. Shout out to my man Monty.
I got to get
Dude.
to work and go build these satellites.
Hey man, hey bro, appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to my man Monty, guys. All right, now. Yeah, shoot. Now, it's funny though, even though I do disagree with Monty on some stuff, I like where his head's going with it. I got to admit. I mean, at least his head's going in a spot where, all right, I do want to see people out here being able to afford things. I do want to see people out here living an easier, more efficient life. And trust me, I want to see that with them. I really do. But the way in the direction we're going right now, if we don't make those infrastructure corrections now, or at least 5 years from now, then we're gonna be heading towards that dystopian reality that I was preaching like 30 minutes ago. But all right, guys, let's get back to it. If you weren't too thrown out of the conversation.
Counter today. This has been forecast in the American economy every 20 years. It's the end of the free world as we know it, and that's not what happens. Let's go back and do a little fact checking on Jakester here. First of all, AI companies lose billions. They don't make any money right now. They're in a race, as we talked about earlier, against China primarily. They're raising a ton of capital and losing billions every year. We don't know yet how they're going to monetize it, but the market's willing to provide it because they see the productivity opportunity and the cure for cancer and the democracy around education and productivity for the nation already been proven by record earnings in the S&P, of which all 11 sectors have adopted the first wave of AI to enhance productivity and reduce costs. We don't know yet what new jobs are going to be created. I'll just talk about the ones I'm creating in Utah. 4,000 construction jobs for about 9.5 years, high paying, and another 2,000 engineering and support jobs, extremely high paying, because what's now a desert will be a data center, not near anybody's backyard, not replacing farmland, not using any of the water the way the people have been talking about, not taking any energy from Utah, but in fact
How
contributing
far out do
to
they
it,
gotta be?
not polluting the air because we can't.
Ah, and shout out to my man Noah Joyner. He said that wasn't Paul Bunyan, that was John Harry. Oh, okay. bro. All right, bro. Shout out, bro. Appreciate that correction. Because I was kind of wondering too. I was like, was that Paul Bunyan? But all right, nope. It was John John Henry. It was John Henry, guys. Okay.
And do that without air permits. All of this stuff is a falsehood. So what we don't know, and Jake's right about this, is no one ever predicts with a new technology what the outcome is. So I'm not a doomer on this stuff. My job here is to maintain a direct focus on entrepreneurship, hire as many people as I can, because that's what I do. And I take a lot of flack. I mean, Jake's hitting me hard today, and I appreciate he's an intelligent guy and he's got an opinion. And I'm glad we're in this narrative and having this discourse.
I swear to God, bro. I thought he was saying, bro, every time he tries to say Shank, he says Jake instead. It's kind of funny.
It's important, but let's deal with fact, not rhetoric and not hysteria. Because I still go back to the robots eating the babies, because that's all I listen to every day. It's just ludicrous. And I don't think robots are actually going to do as much as people think or look the way they think. They're not going to be humanoid walking around taking out your garbage. That's not how it's going to work. Robots have been building cars for decades now and doing other things in medical research, and robotics have been used in all kinds of technologies and chip making and everything else, but they don't look like people walking around. So, I say to myself, we don't know what we don't know, and that's fair. But to say that all of these AI companies,
to be quite honest, I mean, look, if this is what they're gonna do and that's what y'all going towards, and I'm gonna be real with you, seems like robotics might just be something that might just need to be pushed instead of all this arts and language and all that other bullshit y'all want to have people, get a degree in. At this point, it's STEM or nothing. If that's what you guys are doing, if everything is going autonomous and AI, then I guess we all just got to get a job in maintaining the AI infrastructure. I don't think a lot of people want to do that, but it's looking like that's the reality. If you want things to go Kevin O'Leary's way. Personally, I would like him to do a course correction, try to work on getting more efficient energy production.
These are making billions of dollars. And something else, and Jake knows this, most of the taxes in America are paid by the rich people. They pay their fair share now. So if you take it past 50%, like California, like New York, like New Jersey, like Massachusetts, in the Constitution of America, with the forethought of the founding fathers, they believed in the competition of states. And so you have people moving, Schultz to Florida, the Google guys to Florida, some have gone to Texas. If you want to steal rich people's money, go ahead. They'll just move. And if you really make it difficult for them in every state in America, they'll do what they did in England. They'll find a new America. That's what made America great over 200 years ago. Taxation. It doesn't work. The thing about socialism and communism is you run out of other people's money very quick.
No, that's so funny the way he's talking about, we fought wars over taxation. Yeah, now I know. And we're getting taxed out the ass today. It's kind of ironic.
Because they simply leave. The French figured that out. That's what happened in England when they raised 90% tax rates. Monaco, I mean, it only exists because the French screwed the rich French guys and they all moved 4 miles across the border. It's very simple. You want to support entrepreneurship and job creation. Yeah. Only 1/3 of the...
No, I'm all about that, though. I do hear what he's saying. Like, I remember I was making this argument to Democrats saying, like, y'all can't have the best of both worlds out here. Like, I know y'all want to, tax the rich and make them pay their fair share, but let's be reasonable and let's make sure you're actually doing this in good faith. Because if you're making it to where they can't, provide more jobs or expand their company, then we're walking backwards here. But, if we can tax them more and maybe cut down regulations to where they're able to expand their business more and, get more done. And maybe that is a way they can give more to their employees and all that good stuff. Like, we got to find a balance here. We just can't expect these business owners to pay hand over fist for taxes, and then we're not really offering them no incentives. Or we can, heighten up the restrictions, but then lessen the taxes. Like, something got to give to where we're making it fair for them, and we're just not running their pockets. Because I'm gonna be real with you, us running their pockets only make them wants to fight the system even more and find more ways to evade taxes. And two, this whole fight between the rich and the government over taxes doesn't really help the middle class whatsoever. I think these classes working together actually coming to an agreement where, you know, the rich or the business owners can actually give jobs and give raises. Trust me, they can come to an agreement, but for some reason it's tax the rich or nothing. And then there's the people who just say, oh, no taxes for them and no regulations. Trust me, that ain't the way either.
Population in America can be entrepreneurs, and they employ the other 2/3. That's the way it's been for 200 years, and it's a great thing. And I don't see anybody else investing money anywhere else except America 52% of the time. 52 cents of every dollar on earth. Leave. The French figured that out. That's what happened in England when they raised 90% tax rates. Monaco, I mean, it only exists because the French screwed the rich French guys and they all moved 4 miles across the border. It's very simple. You want to support entrepreneurship and job creation. Only 1/3 of the population in America can be entrepreneurs, and they employ the other 2/3. That's the way it's been for 200 years, and it's a great thing. And I don't see anybody else investing money anywhere else except America 52% of the time. 52 cents of every dollar on earth from sovereign wealth comes to America because it has the opportunity. No other country. I don't see a lot of people saying, boy, would I like to invest in North Korea. Hey, can you?
Well, you know, the laws, we have like financial laws and good stuff and all that good stuff. We actually practice integrity here, financial integrity. I'm sorry. Financial integrity. But we practice somewhat financial integrity here. You just can't be out here acting reckless with your assets or out here doing all types of duplicitous trade tactics unless you're a politician, or we will come after you.
Get me into Russia? Is there a Russian fund I can invest in? Oh, can I invest in Cuba? I don't think so. I don't want to put my money there for retirement. That's why I'm talking about this. The facts are the facts. Get over it. Inhale. Everybody chillax, and let's keep the American dream going.
Cenk, I'll get your response to that.
Nah.
Many things said there. I mean, the core argument there is if you try and tax rich people, they're going to leave and go somewhere else. And, you know, we might end up like Cuba.
Yeah.
Hilarious. It's like, you know, that is the common threat. And you know what? They'll do that from state to state. But, bro, rich people leaving this country? No, they could do it, but it's unlikely. I mean, like, where else you gonna go, dog? Like, please tell me where else you're gonna go and have a better time than here in America. Like, please tell me where you're gonna go. You can't think of one. So you can sit there and jump state to state, but leaving the country, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Like, even I can get sick of a state, but get sick of the entire country, get taxed out my country. I don't know. I don't know about that one. But yeah, I think that is a pretty wild threat right there. Oh, we'll just go to another country. Okay. Well, thank you for letting us know that you were never really for the American people. But I mean, hey, business is business. I can't be mad at that.
So did I miss this meme about the robots eating the kids? Because I don't know why that keeps
love that.
coming
I
up.
love the robots eating the kids. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think anybody thinks it's going to happen. It sounds like it was made up. Okay, so there's some fear mongering about robots eating kids and how America's going to turn communist or something. No. Look, as I said, we're capitalists. We're just trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. Capitalism isn't supposed to be let's crush the average guy and make sure the corporate CEOs get everything. I'm a corporate CEO, but it's not right and it's not balanced and it's not American. The American way is to make sure that we build a super strong middle class that are great, productive citizens, voters, and by the way, consumers, right? And so if we lose track of that, then we're all going to be doomed. So like Kevin's so worried that somebody's going to take his money. And it's not just Kevin. They always like threaten us like, oh yeah, we'll leave. I mean, don't threaten me with a good time. But beyond that, okay. But beyond that, Kevin, that's not going to be your main problem. When you don't have any consumers, that's going to be your main problem. You have to protect the American middle class. You know, you could argue that's the goose that lays the golden eggs, and you guys keep chipping away at that middle class. And so right now, Stephen, this late into the conversation, still no plans on what to do with inevitable massive unemployment. And what I'm telling you is,
and that's the thing, nobody has that answer. And you know, even when I was pressing Monty, but even Monty kind of conceded to it. Like, he's like, look, we're just gonna have to advance some things, or you're like, even Monty's admit, like, if we don't advance some things, then yeah, that's gonna be a mass problem, is when that mass unemployment hit. But if we can advance some things, maybe that's not going to be a problem. But here's the thing, though. The way Kevin O'Leary's thinking, that's not even really in his head. And he kind of talks around that problem, and it's all about, oh, we got to beat China. China this, China that. I'm just shut the fuck up. I'm saving the world from the Chinese AI takeover. That's kind of what he's hitting us with.
we're not going to go necessarily to communism, but we are going to wonder, wait, why is everyone unemployed and only a couple of people have reaped billions or trillions of dollars? So and come on, Kevin, no, you know how the economy works and the markets work. Yes, you invest into it in the beginning, and that's why right now they're theoretically losing billions of dollars. Same exact thing that happened to Amazon. And then later you make billions and maybe even trillions. That's why their stock prices are so high. And so they're powered by that investment, and later they'll reap the rewards. And when they reap those rewards, it's fair to ask, who got you those rewards? It's not to say that the entrepreneurs didn't and the employees and the shareholders of those companies didn't, but there were other factors involved, including all of the American government and the American people that supported the infrastructure that made that happen. That conversation is going to be inevitable when we have tens of millions of people unemployed. And guys, there's one other factor that's involved there. When you have a lot of unemployed young men sitting around, usually what happens is nothing good.
Bruh.
Wars happen.
I mean, bro, you want to know what happens? Shoot, go look at the hood. Go ahead and look at the hood, or go ahead and go to the ghetto. And that's what happens when there is not enough jobs in circulation. People start doing crime, and a whole lot of gangs form out of nowhere, but mainly crime.
Crime goes up. We have to be prepared. And all I'm hearing from the AI industry is like, as Kevin said, chillax. Don't sweat it, bro.
Honestly,
don't worry.
You don't even got to go to the hood. You could go to the trailer park. You can go to any low income area. And there's one thing you'll notice. In that surrounding area, there's rarely any good paying jobs. And you wonder why.
We're going to have all the money. And then you guys, I don't know, you'll figure it out. And I'll be in Monaco. That was hilarious. Monaco. So maybe that's where the child eating robots are.
Hold on. Correction to Monty's statement. He's like, all right, for your information, I think AI with humans are going to solve that infrastructure problem. Go look at your average and